Oh, great. We're going to do some juicing today. Juicing is and should be a very important part of our diet because we can get more nutrients from juice than we can from just chewing. Even if we made a nice big salad and we had 3 or 4 different types of vegetables, and we just could not get as much because we couldn't eat as much because we have to chew very slowly and little pieces, a little mouthful to get nutrients. But juice is densely nutrients. So we have here a nice big beet. And beets are a little bit difficult. Most people don't like to juice them. One reason being that it is a root that has a top part that catches all the dirt, and you can never get it out. So what I do is I cut it down below the top part where the dirt is, and I peel the beet. Now most times, if you have vegetables like roots, beets, I always peel. Then we have carrots. Carrots, if they are organic carrots, which I usually try to get organic, I just take my veggie brush. Trying to find it. My brush. I just take my vegetable brush, and I have my vegetable wash. I spray it in the water, and I let them sit for a little while, and I will let them sit while I just scrub the outside of my beet. Now this beet wasn't very bad. There are some beets that, oh, it has so much dirt on it, you want to cry. But this one is not so bad. I did cut that top part off, and then I just trim around the edges where I had that to make sure that I get all of the little holes and pockets that dirt can hold. And then you continue to do that, and you peel the beet around. Usually I use a potato peeler because that leaves a lot more on your fruit or whatever it is you're peeling, rather than trying to cut it with a knife and being even all around. This gives you evenness. Now with my carrots, if they are not organic, I usually just peel them also. But I always put them in water and let them sit in vegetable wash for a little while, and then I prepare them to juice. I've already prepared some nice spinach, washed the spinach very well and spent the water out of it so you won't have a lot of water. And I've also peeled some cucumbers. Now I like to take the seeds out of my cucumbers. The seeds kind of seem to give me a little gas, so I cut it half and just scoop the seeds out before I put it in the juicer. And we're also going to do some red pepper. Red pepper is very high in vitamin C, and so we're trying to put everything in our juice here that will help to give us the vitamins and minerals that we desperately need in order for our bodies to be healthy. And we're going to get lots of it. We'll get lots of vitamin A produced because we have lots of carrots. And I have here about 5 pounds of carrots. So carrots is going to be the major part of our juice. And then we have some celery that we've washed, and we're going to do about a half a stalk of celery. But when we come back, we'll see the juice, bean juice. All right, we're back at our juicing. We got everything prepped. We have our carrots and celery, and we have spinach. We have just a little piece of ginger, and we have a small piece of turmeric that we're going to put in our juice. And the blend should be very good. If it doesn't, it'll be good for you and nutritious. But we're going to start with the greens. This is a green power juicer. Juicers are good if they are pulverized and pressed. You don't want a centrifuger because the centrifuger spins so fast it gets your juice warm. So your enzymes that are alive in there tend to die. So you want to study about juicers. You want to see how they compare to each other. And of course you have to watch and see, well, how much you can afford to pay. But out of the areas, you should be able to narrow it down to an affordable one that will give you a good juice that will, if you juice it properly and you put it away properly, that'll last maybe anywhere from 2 to 3 days. It should still be potent. Everything should be intact. That's what this particular juicer claimed to do. I've had it so many years and use it so much, and I do love it. Just can't afford to get another. All right, but it's good. We use our greens, some of them at least, first, because if not, you get stains. If I put carrot in here first, the carrot just stains the inside of, in parts of your juicer. And what you like to do is keep your juicer so that it won't be so hard for you to clean. You have to scrub and so much. So we're going to start with our greens, but we can't start unless we get something to catch our juice. Comes a large measuring cup that your juice comes out in, and also a very fine strainer, because it's very important that we try to get the purest, and not necessarily pure, but the juice that has less pulp, because pulp you have to have digestion going on. And most times we are on juices, we're on a juice fast, and we don't want our digestive system working, so we take out any little pulp that is left, and that's what I do. And I usually strain it into another measuring cup and then pour it into my jars. You can put it into 8-ounce jars, or you can put it into a pint jar. It all depends on how much juice you're going to drink at one time, because when you open a jar, the air gets to the juice and it starts breaking down more and more. So what you want to do is not put more in one jar than you can drink. The body will take 8 ounces at one time and it can use it perfectly. Some people drink a pint at a time, but I'm not sure that I have read anywhere where it can use that entire pint at that one time. So it probably would be better if you do 2 8-ounce and then, drink them, an hour apart or something. Okay? So we're going to start juicing, and we're going to start with the green. First thing we're going to do is to juice some spinach. So we just take a handful and we put it here. Well, the tray, you can use this tray on here or not, but usually if you do have the spinach, it is good, because if any falls out of your hand, it falls on the tray. And we're going to turn on our juicer, And we're going to take our plunger and we're going to push lightly down our vegetables, down into the chute, and let it go. Remember that we're doing some greens first so that it will help the stains that's going to come from probably our carrot and our beets. It will just kind of chasten it, I guess, and it's easier to clean. Okay? Are you able to see the juice coming out? Some greens in there. I don't necessarily have to put all the greens that I'm going to put in there, but I have put some in there so that everything has gotten something green squeezed on it. Then I'll take a carrot and put a carrot in, and I have the pulp that comes out of the front. Usually I put a plastic bag there, but I want you to see this is how it comes out, and it's relatively dry. But this particular item here, you can tighten it up, and as tight as it can go, and it comes out. And that's what you want. You want most of the juice out of your vegetables. So what I'll do, now that you see that coming out, I'll just take the bag like I usually do, put it on the front, and then just let it fall in this bag. Okay? All right. So we are on our way. We're putting carrots in. Sometimes if you put too many in at one time, it just get tight, but you just take one out and let one go through, and then start the other one go through. Then you can grab something else. We have here some red pepper, high in vitamin C. So we're putting some of that in there. Maybe this is like a medium-sized red pepper that I just washed, cut up, and we're putting in pieces. Okay, then we have celery that we're going to put in. We have several stalks of celery. Celery is full of water, and it's very good for those people who suffer from high blood pressure, sugar. Oh, it's just good for everything. So that, along with the cucumber that we're going to put in there, and it's very good for your skin as well. All of these two things are very high in water, and water is so important for the body. So I usually slice my cucumber half, and then because the seeds most times give me a little gas, I just take a spoon and just scrape the seeds out, or a fork or whatever it is you have. All right? And then you can run that down. The thing is that you don't want to put all of your cucumber at one time, or your celery, because it's so full of water, it'll kind of makes things just stop in here. You know, it has a lot of water coming out. So you just take your time and put little in at a time. And what I like to do is to continue to put. Sometimes you have to cut the cucumber. It all depends on how stiff. Put some of our beet in there. I usually just cut the beet into smaller pieces, just large enough to go in. You don't have to be too small, but you don't want it too large that it get stuck in the chute either. So I usually just do little wedge like that. Drop that over in there, mash it down, and get another piece and put it in, mash it down. And by us putting not the same thing in the chute to juice, so we juice all of that up and then juice something else up, unless you're putting it in separate jars, then it's much better to blend juices. Then it's more potent when you blend stuff. So we're putting some more pepper in there. We're going to start with some more carrot. Now we're going to put our ginger. Just put it in there and mash it down. When it goes through the twin gears, it hit just like it, just squeeze the juice out of it. And that's that. I was looking for my piece of, I had the piece of turmeric, but I know it's in there, but we'll get it in. It'll get in. Because by the time we get down to the end of what we have, then a lot of people put a green apple or apple in, there. I peeled an apple, but it's a small one, and I just cut it up, and then I'll run it through here as well. But it all depends on you, because for me, I don't have to have an apple. I mean, most times the vegetables, or when you mix them together, especially the beets and the carrots, they're, has a nice sweetness to it, so it's not that you have something that, I don't want to taste all these greens. But green drinks, totally green, are perfectly good for you. Good medicine. So you can do that some of the time. Now we can see that our cup is almost getting full, so we don't want to overflow it, so we do have to keep an eye on it. And then we'll have to stop and strain and put some of that juice that is there into jars. And we have our jars, 8 ounce. Show you how to put it in the jar, because it's so important as to how you put up your juice, whether it keeps its potency.
If you're interested in learning more health tips, Sister Mary has a book called Sister Mary's Recipe for Life: Prescriptions for Good Health, Following God's 8 Laws of Health. Leave a comment below and we will follow up with you. Leave a comment below if you're interested in booking Sister Mary for a seminar, plant-based, raw, and cooking classes, workshops. She also does personalized consultations on nutrition, dietary and lifestyle changes, and hydrotherapy. I pray you found something in this video helpful. Remember, health is progressive. Thanks for watching. See you next time.